This dream is life.
It say it is life. What are you doing down there? You look cold, man.
Bro, I like to sit out in the weather a little bit. It's not cold down here. It's like 50, 59 degrees, but I like to sit outside because inside my family's house, I'm at my parents' house down here in Alabama. It's loud as hell. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
you can't go live. It's this,
No.
you know,
It's a ruckus.
bro. It's
See,
a ruckus, cuz
yeah. There arose such a clatter looking ass.
sprang from my bed. Look, see what was the matter.
I did that this morning.
He got one of them long hats on with a little
With a
ball.
little ball on it. What was the benefit of that?
He looked out that window like this.
He said, I looked through my window to see what's the matter with Eddie with my boss, Bob Shirley.
My dad, actually, funny story about that poem. Night Before Christmas. My dad, when I was little, this was the most money we'd ever heard of in our life, right? Like, he's like, I will give you $100. And I said, I'm all ears. He said, if you can memorize 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And I'm talking about, he had the book. It was one of them little books. I forget. It was a popular little book of the day. They made a bunch of different little series. Scuffy the Tugboat, all these different ones. Well, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was one of them. And he had the book and he said, if you can memorize the exact, I'm talking about, it has to be to the letter, I will give you this $100. And it was very interesting because me and my brother got the same deal. And Pierce is 4 years younger, so it took him, a while to get the offer. But when he got the offer, Pierce does it in a way that Pierce would. We're polar opposite. He would attack it, and he would get it wrong. And Dad you can't try again that day. You got to go back and study it. And you come back tomorrow, but you can't try again if you mess up. You got to go back and study. All right. So Pierce would rattle it off. Toward night before Christmas, and all the house, not the creature stir, not even a mouse. The house to hum like chimney, carry hopes and single soon would be there. It's actually soon would be there. It's not would soon be there. And Pierce, he'd mess up, he'd get sent back. Pierce got sent back probably 50 times. Me, I didn't, and you'll probably get this about my personality. I said it one time, and I got 'Twas the Night Before Christmas when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. And Dad goes, eh? And I said, he goes, soon would be there. And I messed up once, and I went back, and I got that $100. Like, I didn't come back. Pierce, he's a rapid fire guy. He'll mess up 60 times, but he just keeps coming.
He's just going to
go back to the well and I study.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it on that second run. It's like I valued having it right, on the second run,
I think I've told you this before, but my similar story that was 5th grade. I hated the 5th grade. I don't know why. And about a third of the way into the year, I decided I hated 5th grade. So every time that they watched Fantasia, rolled a little TV out on the car, or anything like that.
With that ratchet strap on it.
Yes, sir. I did, over the top ratchet strap. I'd go over there and just start writing sentences because the teachers would give you their sentences. They had the same one. Mm-hmm. Every teacher had their little, whatever their punishment sentences were. If you got in trouble, you had to write, it was usually 50. They come in like increments of 50, depending on the level of egregiousness of the sin that thou hast. So end of the year, like a month before school was over, bro, I had a couple thousand sentences banked.
Yeah.
In a notebook, little binder book. So I just acted a fool the last 2 weeks of the year. I just be cutting up, just running amok, cutting a chogie, if you will. And they'd be like, you don't ever act up. You owe me 50 sentences. I was like, all right. Whoosh, whoosh, rip out.
Cashed them. He cashed them in.
Pull them little tabs off that loose leaf.
Yeah.
Cashed them in. See, and they couldn't say shit. What you gonna say? You got your sentences. So.
That's right. He cashed him in, baby. He already had them pre-written. I ain't never heard of nobody pre-writing.
I think
Seen
it was the only person that it was a little psychotic.
You might be the only person to ever do that.
Could be. It's a small world record that I hold, but I had like 1,500 sentences just on deck. What you
Just
gonna
logged. He said,
Yeah.
I plan on getting into some trouble here soon. So
running and all, stuff like that.
without a hall pass, you know what I mean? And that's nice.
But guys, we want to do Papa Live for you tonight. It's the holiday week this week, starting tonight or starting today. And I did a video earlier this morning. We'll try to do some during the day, but we wanted to get you alive in there as well and let you know that we always do a big Black Friday sale. You have to be careful how you say big Black Friday and where you put the pause. It could get you in trouble, but BBF sale. But anyway, we've got some hell of a good deals over on the website, and we've got some featured products for you that are today's featured products, but we're going to talk about them in a little bit. But we'll answer this question real quick. What's up, John? Hey, I know that guy. John, what's up, man? Well, I hate to break it to you, but that one's not coming back.
The answer is never, my friend.
Never. Now, eFlogo, you made me pronounce it wrong, John. You got it spelled slightly wrong. My dyslexia got me, but eFlogo works tremendously. I've got some videos. We sold a decent amount of it, but it just was not a heavy mover for us. Because why is it not a heavy mover, AP? It's just not a common enough problem, is it?
Oh, it's out there, but don't nobody know what it is.
No, they don't.
They do. And the people who know about it, even don't know what it is, right? It's like a lot of people, they mix up calcite, calcite buildup with efflorescence, and they don't know that, you sell them that chem and they're like, well, it ain't taking off calcite. Right. It ain't taking off calcite. Now, if you spray it enough and you cut it straight and you work on it long enough, it will take off some of that. But, too many guys don't know what they're cleaning. They don't know the stain. And then, it's just not common enough awareness for cleaning guys in the industry to understand that you can take it off. Third would probably be, how many customers want to pay for you to take it off, right? There's a few layers to that chemical as far as what people have to know, and customers have to be aware that it can be removed. So it's a big batch of just calculations Cody and I do, and it wasn't a big mover for us.
And we've got limited pallet space out back on the racks. We're going to be expanding that in the future, but it was just like we looked at okay, what are we moving the least amount of? And because we needed to free up some slots for some other chems that we were working on that are kind of new in the tank. So yeah, it was a great chem. But to answer your second question, John, in a pinch, go to Ace Hardware and get muriatic acid. There's some other stuff you can get. It had the word magic in it. I think it was called Acid Magic. eFlogo is a much safer option. So if you're go that route, you need to really go PPE wise. It was basically a buffered muriatic blend is what eFlogo was. Also, I'm not against plugging another chemical that's good stuff. F9 eFlow is actually a really solid chem. So you can get that too from the F9 product family, and it's good too. It's just a super niche thing, but if you've got an Ace Hardware local, I'd run over there first and check that bottom shelf. They'll probably have one jug, but just make sure you do wear that PPE because it's gonna smoke a lot, put a lot more vapors and fumes than eFlow would have. Our old chem would have done.
Yeah, you don't want to use muriatic on things that you really care about, because it can really screw things up. Well, I know a lot of guys, they don't care anyway, but that is a thing. If you're working on brick, you could probably just use uncut muriatic. Or if you're working on block,
retaining wall,
or retaining wall, bro, you could use that. But if you're working on anything that's that you need to kind of retain the finish on, like around the stain, right? So if you clean this and it looks really white and clean now, but you've ruined the visual because the rest of the thing was kind of a color or something like that, you need to make sure you're using something that's a little more buffered and gentle on the substrate.
So yeah, what are we looking at tonight? We are looking at a couple of daily featured items. Put one up on the screen right there. On the screen right there. I just ate a 20-ounce ribeye at Texas Roadhouse and like a lot of them rolls. Okay, so y'all bear with me. The rolls got me,
bro.
What we got right there? That is a Smart Stream. What is that? What does that do?
For all of you guys who like to downstream, new guys, old guys, downstream is super popular. I get it. It's really easy. This is your best friend. The Smart Stream is a automatic on-off chemical dispenser. Basically, it doesn't do any dispensing, but it allows your chemical to be sucked through your downstream injector at the touch of a button, and you can turn it off at the touch of a button. So if you're around the apartment complex or the house, you don't have to walk back to the truck to pull the hose out of the bleach tank, or turn your little valve off. You don't have to walk back to the truck to do that, which does get annoying, so this relieves all of that. And it has an auto flush system. I know a lot of you guys who are using downstreamers, you can forget to flush your downstream injector. Well, this has an auto flush where when you press off and the box is off, it actually is your downstream injector still sucking, and it's sucking straight water from your water tank, flushing out the downstream injector. So, and it can also add in back a little bit of what you lost in flow from your downstream injector, constricting the flow on your line. It'll still be sucking water when it's in the off position. So it adds a little bit of that flow back into the line as well. So super popular item. Guys love it. Great range on these as far as, being able to reach from around the complex or around the house. We've never had an issue with that.
No.
But, one of those little creature comforts, Cody, dude, those go a long way. When you're first getting started, you ain't thinking about none of that the day you get started, right? You think about making $1, but about that week 6, you start being like, I'm kind of tired of walking back this truck. I'm kind of tired to, coming back here. Or if you're up on a roof, if you've ever been up on a roof on a really tall house that has one of those, pop-ups, right? Kind of like your old house had that, where it had a roof and then it had a flat part and then another roof way up here. Well, you had to get on the roof to clean some of these upper areas. And if you got to do that, well, now guess what? To shut your chem off to rinse, you got to get down the ladder again, go back to the truck, pull the hose out, go back up the ladder and rinse. Well, with this, you just press a button, right? So little safety feature there as well. So
I'll give you guys a little nerd history of how this stuff came to be. So if you get in the DeLorean and we go back, there was a there still is a mechanical way to stop off your chemical and toggle back and forth between chem and water. So if you go to Home Depot or wherever and you get the little pack of colored tips, you got a black one and it's the soap tip. And then you got a green one and a yellow one and a white one and a red one, right? So the black one was labeled soap tip. You look at it on the end, it's got a big old hole in it, big orifice. If you're using that, it allows enough flow to come through the system, through the hose, through the gun, through the tip, right? Big hole at the tip. That's the last point of possible restriction. So it allows a bunch of flow, and it's the right amount of flow to sort of activate that Venturi effect back there at the rig, wherever you've got that downstreamer mounted. So what guys will do, and this still works today, they put the black tip on, they call it your soap tip, and soap the wall down. And then when they wanted to change, they reach in their pocket, pull out any of the other ones, and they would swap them out. And that any of the other ones, green, white, yellow, they got a little bitty tiny hole. So that little hole, say you put the white one in there, it's going to go for rinsing mode now. Now, how the hell does the downstream injector back there at the truck know that you just changed that tip out? The way it works is now any of those other tips have got a much smaller orifice. They don't allow that much flow to come through the line. And so there's not enough flow happening at the downstream injector past it to create that siphon effect on the little barbed tee that's off to the side with the suction line. So there's not enough coming by. Okay, now why don't we just do it that way no more? Well, glad you asked. Because everybody wants to now wash, instead of one house a day or their house on Saturday, you got professional dudes trying to get real rigs and do, 3 to 5 or 6 jobs a day, which means we got to go faster. And if you've done this any amount of time, you know that the rinsing is what eats up your time. The problem with rinsing with one of those white or yellow or green colored tips is that you're just shooting a mist cloud past about 6 feet.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do it, and it doesn't make a shit if you're doing your house on Saturday, but if you're trying to get 5 or 6 jobs done today. So everybody went to dedicated tips, and the J-Rod, named after a fellow named Jared, that became a thing. And then you got all these tips and the shooter tips, right? So now all of your tips are big bore, big orifice tips so that you got rinsing speed back, right? Which is a big damn deal. But now that also means that you don't have a mechanical way to stop that flow the way you used to by changing the colored tip out. So the next evolution was, okay, we want the rinse power. We'll just live with walking to the truck, walking to the house, walking to the truck, walking to the house. The next evolution of that, because originally that was just they would pull the downstream line out of their 5-gallon bucket of Kim or a little 30-gallon bleach tank or whatever they had. They'd literally just pull the suction line out, which would get it out of the Kim source, lay it on the side of the truck or the trailer, and go back and rinse, and it would just be sucking air, or they'd throw it in a bucket of water or whatever. So then the next thing that happened past that was somebody eventually put a 3-way toggle. So it was hard plumbed, and they just would go to the truck and turn a valve and select. Well, the SmartStream is doing that same thing, but it's all remote control. And you will be surprised how much you walk back and forth to the freaking truck. And it's, who cares about walking a little bit? I mean, you get your steps in, but the problem is you got 200 foot of hose and 200 foot of hose. That's 400 feet every time you got to go to the truck. All right. So you're doing
it's a hot day.
It's a couple miles a day, which is the problem is you're burning daylight, right?
Right. You also, if it's a hot day, you got SH sitting on the windows, and
exactly.
And if you're walking by your truck and it's drying,
so you're either one of 2 guys, right? You're either Aaron or Pierce. You're either going to risk it, which means eventually you get to repaint some windows because you got that white film because you put Kim on too many windows before you tried to start rinsing.
Right.
Or you're cautious and you're going the other way with it, and you're a little less you're slower on the job. I was always more cautious because I don't like getting callbacks and I don't want to mess up nobody's finish. Hot day, July. The beautiful thing with this NAS remote control, you just beep, 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 and positive feedback on the system. So SmartStream is on sale today. We sell a ton of SmartStreams. We put lots of SmartStreams on our rigs. I hardly ever get any, it's an easy thing to understand how to use. It's on, it's off, and it's a great product. I don't know, man. We've moved a couple thousand. It's probably several thousand SmartStreams. So we've got them. A bunch of guys that bought them today. We've been kind of monitoring the sales throughout the day. We just had some guy bought one like as we were getting on the stream here. So that is what a SmartStream is. All right. Now let's look at another thingy here. Let me answer John's
answer. Yeah, John, real quick. The answer is yes. Sealing it will. It's debatable as far as how long it will prevent it. A lot of this is efflorescence is kind of an issue with salt purging from mortar joints usually is what it is. And it's because there's a pressure behind the mortar joint of some sort, and pressures, bro, it could be 1 PSI of its air pressure, right? And it's purging liquid through that mortar joint. The mortar has salt in it, and it is purging and building up there. So if you seal it, yes, it will. Super Seal is a great sealant for that. It's a water-based seal the fool out of some block and brick, and it's just easy to do. It's one step. You just spray it on. You don't have to mix anything.
Can't screw it
Clear.
up.
Can't screw it up, really. So yeah, it will help prevent it, but it's debatable as far as like how many years will it help prevent it, or months, or whatever.
Yeah. And take a look at that, John, what you're looking at as well when you get out there. It's probably primary efflorescence. It could be secondary, but being that it's around a pool, if it's in a concentrated spot, it's probably primary, but primary means it's coming from the thing. Secondary efflorescence means it's getting on the thing from some outside source, which would be, example with a pool, it could be that, but good examples like your subdivision entrance in big city Florida, right? Big place. They got all that. We've been by them on the way to the Keys, and you're like, damn, look at that entrance, that subdivision. They got this massive fountain out there, and the sign that says country club or whatever, and it's a water feature. Well, what's happening, and you'll see efflorescence on almost all of those. The maintenance dude about once a month is driving by on the John Deere Gator. I think it's a law they have to drive those. And he's throwing a pool tab. He's doing this motion right here when he goes by. And so that's calcium hypochlorite in a pool tab. So he's putting a bunch of calcium and mineral deposits in the water. It gets dissolved. It gets sucked up with the fountain, sprayed out, misted out. And at the edges of that, you'll see an E-flow line. So that would be secondary. Yes, you didn't need to know none of that, but I just thought you might want to know it. But anyway, there's two different types. If it's
All
coming,
this stuff is gay. He's gay.
Right.
It's gay shit.
all I really want is discriminatory, but I got to tell you about all that other stuff too. So yeah, but Super Seal will absolutely seal it up, and educate your customer too, because if they don't opt to seal it, they can't come. Well, they can, but they shouldn't come complaining to you in 8 months when they got some coming back, because that's their own fault. But yeah, that's what's going on there. Why do I know so much about dumb things? What is that? Bro, we had a queer as a $3 bill waiter at Texas Roadhouse. And look, you do you, boo. I just don't. Just dial it in a little bit when you're bringing me my rolls, if you could. It was like
Sashaying.
shade on my rolls, and that's what happened. Because I'm big on Constitution, and you do whatever you want to, as long as you do it on your yard. But he come over and said, "Would you guys like some more of this rolls?" I said, "Well, kindly, I don't know if I would, because I want them, but the way you said that bothers me." So.
Now my rolls are gay.
Now my rolls are touching. Okay, I see where the two rolls is touching, and I don't appreciate that.
I don't appreciate that.
This, my boys, is a pretty special little piece of kit right here. This is a Smart Blend Pro, and we've had this a while. And there are some, I can't really say copycats out
They're
there.
not copycats.
Well, what are they?
They're imposters.
Imposters. Yeah.
They're not copycats. You got it. There's a lot of computation that goes into that Smart Blend. Okay,
Tell
so
them about it. Yeah, give them the spiel.
I'll tell you why. All right. So the Smart Blend is a completely remote control blend manifold. All right. Now, when you hear me say that line,
Yeah.
oh, well, so-and-so got a remote control blend manifold. I understand, but you're missing a few things there. So-and-so has an on-off valve on a blend manifold. And what that means is when you're spraying and you just say, hell, I want to turn the damn thing completely off. Well, that's your only choice with their piece of equipment, right? The Smart Blend is very sophisticated because it is a full spectrum blend manifold remote control, meaning whatever ratio you want to dial in, whether it's 1% all the way to 6%, you can dial it in remote control on the bleach. Whatever soap, amount you want to add to the mix, you can remote control from 1 to 6, right? From the
3.
valve being closed all the way to the valve being open. So it's a full spectrum. It's a remote that dials it into the exact these intervals, okay, to where you can completely control what ratio you're at. If you want to go up, say you're in the back of the house and you're spraying the house, you want to spray that at 1%, press the button, it hits 1%. You want to clean the roof now because you're on the back of the house and it's right there, right? You sold them a roof cleaning and it's, right there. Press 4%. Boom. It's immediate 4%. It's unlike anything in the industry. And you've had it out, Cody, for heck, long before me.
Yeah.
Long before, we got together in this and it was sophisticated then. It's almost like it's been before its time and it's still ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
It's got a computer in it and it has, very, I would say very intelligent computer with actuators that are set up with that computer that hook to the remote. It's a very interesting piece, dude. It's like, it doesn't really get more sophisticated than that, and robust as far as being durable. Cause I don't even think anyone would ever need more than what you've engineered here. You know what I mean? The water doesn't need to be touched, and having the full spectrum of control on bleach and soap is pretty much all a guy would ever need. So the
Right.
Smart Blend is really awesome, dude. For you new guys, it might be, if you're brand new, it might be a little, it's a splurge, but for those guys who are out there soft washing, cleaning every day, it comes with a batch buster high flow, blue ball valves. Like, these valves can keep up with gas pumps. They can keep up with the highest flow pumps in the game. So
Yep.
was that a good explanation?
That was it, man. This was like my first baby, the Smart Blend was like my first baby. So I put a lot into it, but yeah, it's like you said, it's computer controlled, but all that stuff is waterproof. It's in a housing that's IP rated. The remote control has had a few evolutions where now it's a little smaller. It fits in your back pocket perfectly. USB-C rechargeable on the remote. All you got to do when you get the Smart Blend is wire it up to 12 volts and then hook your plumbing up just like you would any other manifold. Center valve, you're looking at that image, you can still manipulate your water if you ever needed to. So you still got your regular manual handle there. But on that photo, surfactants on the left, bleach is on the right on that particular one. And like you said, you got 0. You can still cut it off. You can still select off and kill the whole thing, which if your water valve is still on, now you're back to water. So you have everything the cheapy ones have, but you actually have full spectrum blendability, and it's very nice. It takes a lot of walking and guessing. And it also has positive feedback, just like the Smart Stream. So the remote control talks to the Smart Blend at the truck, and that unit talks back to the remote control. And that's probably my favorite feature, because if you forget what setting you're on, you're washing, you make a change, you got your earbuds in, you listen to a podcast, and you're like, what the hell am I on? You can pull it out, and there's another button up there that says press for status, and you got some indicator lights that are all color coded. And you got red flashy, red's bleach, you got green is surfactant. So depending on whichever one's flashing, it's going to let you know what you're on in case you forget or you make a change and you don't exactly remember, 30 minutes later. But yeah, you can start off cleaning the roof. You can make a change and say, I want a little more soap, or I want a little less soap, or I want to go up to 5 or 6%, and then when you get done with the job, just kill the soap, kill the bleach, put the remote back in your pocket. Those valves take about 7 seconds to make a turn. If they're going from all the way here to all the way here, it's a 7-second turn. So if they're anywhere in the middle, it's even going to be a shorter time frame for it to make its adjustment. It zeroes back out, and then you're back to water. So it's a damn good system. I'm really proud of it. We did get rid of the weird looking cabinet, so now it's on a poly plate. It's got your power switch right there on the side made into that, and it's easy to mount too. We got some long bolts coming out the backside, 3 of them, which are putting the thing together, but also they give you about that much extra thread. So if you do it right, what you did was you laid it down, you took you some True Blue or something, and you marked those bolts, and then you held it up where you wanted it and make a spot, drill you 3 holes, stick the thing on there, put a washer and a lock nut on the backside, and you're rocking and rolling. So it's a very quick, easy setup, a very robust setup, but you're kind of Tony Stark now. You kind of, you got some cool shit on there. It's really,
yeah. And they also, if you ever run your battery down, they have a fail safe on there to where you can actuate and turn the valves, if you need to. So
yeah, like if you lose the remote, say, or something like that, you getting a call. Somebody is. It ain't me, by God. If you lose your remote, all you got to do is power the system. We can get you another remote. Just let us know that we can get them. But we've had guys, they'll set them down somewhere. And I don't know where I put my remote. We can get another one. But in the meantime, you're not out of commission. You just kill it. There's an Allen key that will still operate it. So I tell the guys when they pick up a rig and they got a smart blend, it's sort of like an escalator. It can, if it tears up, it just turns back into a staircase. So
sorry for the convenience. That's an old Mitch Hedberg joke.
It is. I love Mitch Hedberg and mannerisms.
R.I.P. Yeah, he said he saw a sign that said, "Sorry, escalator is down." He said, but the sign should have read, "Sorry, escalator temporarily stairs." Sorry for the convenience.
That dude was hilarious, dude.
He was king of the one-liner, man. Like,
underrated.
But
guys, head over to the site and get you some stuff, man. This week's the big week of the year, biggest sale of the year, and biggest one we've ever done. Matter of damn fact, you can get you a truck out of this deal here.
No. There could be a truck in this deal.
Could be.
Yeah. So if you guys look, if you spend over $600 in this week's sale, right? And that's total. Okay. If you come back to the site and you spend more or whatever, and you get up to $600, you are entered to win the King Ranch. That is a real King Ranch. It is not a die-cast toy King Ranch. That King Ranch, give him a King Ranch. That'd be funny. Well, that would be also pretty ruthless. It's a real King Ranch. It's a good truck. It's a work truck. I'd drive it every day, frankly.
I did. Yeah. It's a great, I love that body style anyway. The steel bodies. That's like, I got a thing for that body style, but hell of a good work truck. It's not a brand new truck, but it's you wouldn't want one anyway, because you can go be watching in it, but it's a solid, good looking King Ranch F-250. So yeah, like you said, man, we're going to be doing that. That's brand new. We've never done that before, and we ain't never done this either.
Boom, 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 boom. Big equipment sale this week, saving thousands, not hundreds, thousands of dollars on equipment. And these prices last this week, or if we sell out of that equipment by Tuesday, those prices are gone. Okay. So you got up till this week. If we got one last one ready for you at the end of the week and you get your money together, end of this week. And we still got one there on the floor. We'll honor the price, but if we sell out by Tuesday or Wednesday, those prices are gone. Read off some of the prices to them, Cody. Do you have any of that info that you can?
They're in my phone. My phone's over there, but it's a lot off. It's like,
let me see if I have.
Yeah, it's and you can check out all of these rigs that are available on the YouTube channel. Go to the playlist, available equipment, and you'll see them there. We've been working really hard the last month or so to get some stuff in stock for this sale, and we did. We had a good little pile, but we sold 2 Friday. So I think 1 Thursday and 1 Friday. So 2 of them left the available playlist and went over to the sold playlist. So there's 2 gone right there. I'm pretty sure we got 1 coming through tomorrow that's spoken for. So it's first come, first serve. We're not holding it for you. All right. But send the money. They're pre-built. Get with the sales team. Let them know which one you want. It's real easy to do. Get it paid for. We got financing options. That's why we went ahead and launched the equipment last week. We sent some email blasts and things out because we get it. It takes some guys, they got to go to the bank, and there's a few 4 or 5 days there. So the equipment portion of the Black Friday sale has been running about a week now. So there's already dudes sniping at these rigs. So
Right.
don't sit on your hands. You're gonna miss out. Like you said, I think we've got like eight or nine as of today, and we're gonna probably build one or two more coming up next week. You know, we got 3 working days. We won't be there Thursday and Friday. So we might stick 1 or 2 back in inventory, but there's not 46 of them. All right. There's like 10. So
Yeah.
get you
Yeah.
one. Lots of tote goats. There's 1 trailer pod. I think there's 1 or 2 poly maxes. So tell them what we got there.
We got a bunch of stuff. So, you know, they're different. These rigs are built out differently. Some of them have 8 gallons. Some of them have 5.5 gallons. So these prices are all across the board, but just to kind of show you some of the savings, I've got a tote goat here, probably with an 8-gallon, Cody, $14,499 is the regular price. It's got an 8-gallon on it. Now it's $10,000, $497. Okay. So that is how much off? That's like $4,000 off. All right. So, we got a Polymax it's by the price, it's probably built out crazy. It's normally $18,495. Right now it's $15,997. So solid savings there. We got another tote goat that is, let's see, let me find a cheaper one, probably with a 5.5 on it. This tote goat's got a 5.5, a $12,999 now is $9,497. So about $3,000, little over $3,000 savings there. So thousands of dollars off here. We're not talking about hundreds of dollars. And like I said, prefaced earlier, these prices last for this week, or if we sell out, you know, by Tuesday or Wednesday, then they're gone. We'll go back to regular price. So if you're wanting to get yourself a rig, get it. Also, the guys who purchase equipment this week on this sale get 25 entries. I believe that's right. Correct?
Yep, that is right.
25 entries into the King Ranch giveaway. So, yeah, so a little more incentive there. And also with, what was it? With these prices, by the way, with the King Ranch giveaway, terms and conditions do apply. So there are terms and conditions on the site. We had to make that clear. Our attorney told us we got to make that clear. So that's your clarity right there. So terms and conditions do apply. So, so yeah, bunch of big stuff, big sales.
Yep. Tote goats are probably our favorite rig. We've got the Poly Pro, which replaces our old mini skid. Let me let you look at that one. That's a killer rig too. I came up with this one, kind of designed it out, and it's 50 gallons of water and chem, you know, 5.5 washer. It's basic, like but it's nice basic. It'll do everything you need to do if you're an old mini skid.
Smaller trucks, you know, like Tacomas, Canyons. Anybody has those smaller trucks that they can't fit a full size rig in, the Poly Pro is the rig you want. It fits in the smaller trucks really well.
Yep. So moving up from there, you get into tote goat land, and I don't have a
full size truck.
Yeah, full size truck, because you got the IBC tote full of water, so you got to be able to handle that weight. But if you got a full size truck, tote goat's real hard to turn down. And we've got some other cool stuff, guys. We got that right there. That's a new product. So this is not really a skid. You're kind of bridging the gap between like a batch 45. You know, this is basic weekend warrior homie, but we sell a lot of these for guys that are just ultra budget. You know, they're just barely getting by. They can get them a batch 45, make some money with it, but they're going to want to migrate out of that pretty quick. This is the new starter skid. It's divided tank internally, so you got 50 gallons of chem and water. Drop your soap right in there with the bleach.
Cool, man. This is cool.
It is a very slick, and it's Ark of the Covenant size, right? It's don't take the lid off, but no, it's really, you can do anything when it's got a Super 8 on it. And I'm gonna tell you something about Super 8 now,
bro. It's spicy.
It's in stock. We've had them. All right, we just ain't said nothing about it because we were sitting on the inventory getting ready for Black Friday. We've had them a few months. Not a pre-order. They're in stock. They're leaving out on rigs. And Super 8s are available during the sale as well. They'll be in stock going forward, just like the 16s. So we're good. We're good on the Super 8 AP.
Bro,
I put 1 gallon more than the Remca.
bro. Yeah, well, that's what they would say, right? That, I guess that's the number of the on the sticker. But the Super 8 is very impressive as far as its pressure and as far as, its form factor. It's super small, single shaft, bro. It's just, I like to call it the mean mosquito, because it's
Yeah.
just, it's a badass little pump, dude. It turns up twice what a Remco 7-gallon turns up, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a supercharger on it.
Yeah.
It's faster for sure. It's faster, and also, and what that does, guys, if you've ever used a Remco 7, you probably experienced, like, you're like, is this 7? Like, is this a 7-gallon? Because it's kind of limp wristed on the pressure, you know. It's just, yeah, it's spraying, but it don't really feel like it's spraying. The Super 8, bro, it's like a little laser. It's like a
Yeah.
little laser pointer. It's got some pressure. It's got some, what we would like to call ass. It has some
Yeah.
ass behind it. Yes.
Well, you kind of know it has to, because we'll test them on the rig on that water boss gun. Some of those 12-volt stuff won't even run a water boss or any kind of trigger
Right.
gun style, and get, it's like you're shooting water rounds. But, and the other big thing, guys, when you step up to like a Super 8 or a 16, they're a little bit pricier, and the Super 8's not bad, especially this week. But the thing is, they're rebuildable. So your old 12 volts, I threw them in a ditch, especially if it's a 5-gallon, I'd throw it in a ditch. But if you're getting into Super 8, you can probably run that pump a few years. You probably get 2 good years out of it, a few head kit swaps. So if you think about it like that, you're getting more pump, you're paying a couple $100 more, but it's way spicier and it's rebuildable. You'll be able to get a couple years, and then you're going to have to trash it and get another one. But it's not disposable like your 12-volt stuff. It's like it's in a different class, and we did that. We made it that way on purpose, because a head kit ain't no big deal. But if you got to buy another pump, it really, that shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. So people, punks, pressure wash punks in the house. What's up, bro? What up, dog? What's up, man? Yeah, we're just running through what we've got on the sale this week. I think we got one trailer pod. This is an old photo. It's not this one. But yeah, we're really excited about offering you guys some killer deals this week. And go on over there and get you some stuff, man.
Conjured up a tote goat, boy.
Hey.
You want to tell them how we thought about a tote goat?
Well, let me answer him real quick, because I'm going to correct him now. I ain't never met him, but he's wrong, because it ain't worth a damn.
Oh, man. Yeah, tote goat. So tote goat is probably our favorite skid that we make. And we conjured this up really because, I was thinking one day, and I was like, IBC totes are so gay.
Well, they do hold firewood, so you got to give it.
They use a firewood container. You're going to see one up against the side of every double wide in southern Alabama somewhere. But look, there's something I could not look past, is the fact that they are damn useful. I was like,
it's too useful.
It's too useful to completely shit on. I mean, shitting on it is merited, but you can't completely shit on it. You're like, in a pinch, I would use that. We always, just thought they were kind of the nerds of the wash world, because they were just not it's not a real tank, man. And look, but they hold a lot of water.
And they're cheap.
And they're cheap. And the biggest issue, though, with a IBC, if you're trying to put it in the back of your truck, is that, well, yeah, you could put that in the back of your truck, but you're not going to put anything else in the back of that truck. Okay. So we wanted to make something that you could fit the IBC tote in there. You had hose reel shelves. You have a spot for your washer. You have a spot for your soft wash pump, and the clutch, crucial ladder rack. You got to have a ladder rack. Because look, I'm going to tell you, how many times, you probably got a photo we would drive past. I'd be driving down the interstate.
I have
like,
an album. I have a whole album.
Dude, we got people who, we'll take pictures of guys running totes and we just send them back and forth as like little memes. But it's like, dude will be driving, flying down the interstate, and he's got just a tote on a trailer, and he got his wash gear and stuff. It's all laid up, cockeyed in there, and he's got a 28-foot ladder strapped to the top of that tote. It looks like it's sitting on a prong. And it's cockeyed, but he's got it bungee corded down, but it's just
whistling to you.
It's like a ladder is floating in midair, like going down the highway is what it looked like. So we were like, we got to make a ladder rack for these boys to where they could use the IBC and they could carry their softball, their surface cleaner and their ladder, all of those things. So,
So yeah, Togo's really cool, man. It is a cool rig, and you know what it is because we're all used to seeing the toad, so it kind of like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But it is a cool. We've built the most of them by far because that's what people like. We're able to sell it at a really good price because the toad allows us to pass the savings along to the customer of the tank savings, right? You're able to, because I'm gonna tell you what, you go and get you some real tanks on a trailer build, you'll drop some money.
Tanks ain't cheap. They're not cheap to buy and they're not cheap to ship. They cost about as much to ship as they do to purchase.
Right.
Depending on where you're getting them from. But it's the coolest part about the Tote Goat, and I always forget, I don't know why I forget this, but is the integrated tanking system, for your bleach and your soap. And it's the closest to the cab. Will you pull that thing up, Cody? The one you just pulled up. So if you look at this tote right here, you can't see these tanks, but they would be as close to the cab. There's a space right there, very close to the cab, where your bleach tank and your soap tank are. So you got, obviously, your IBC tote holds the water, and then your bleach is behind it, and your soap is behind it as well. So they're all integrated into this skid frame. And look, if you ever wanted to replace the tote or take the tote out, you can absolutely do that. It's a cool modular system that's like built for, I can't even say, Cody, it's built for the new guy. Like, dude, I'm gonna tell you, bro, like if I was running like a fleet of guys right now and I was wanting to buy like affordable rigs that had it all, dude, I would have a Tote Goat with an 8-gallon, and I would have like 3 trucks running straight Tote Goats because they're relatively cheaper rigs. Right. They have everything you need. They have extreme water capacity for the form factor of fitting in a truck. Okay, so you can get in all the little nooks and crannies, but now you got 275 gallons of water. So as much surface cleaning as you want to do, like you can do it. It has a lot of cool aspects to it.
Yeah, when we started talking about doing this model, this was like our first model that we sort of sussed out in poly, the copolymer construction that we're doing now, and that was our first one because of all those things, and it allows us to. It's the name of the game. If I can offer something, a better mousetrap at a cheaper price, and I still get my margin that we need to run on, we're not going to sell them for free, but we got to make our money. But if I can disrupt that a little bit, and so the Tote Goat kind of does that. It's not we'll lower our price to sell more skids. Well, we don't need to sell more skids, but now I can lower the price just because of the innovation. We can lower the price, and the tote is it allows you to do a lot of that because it's kind of taking up some of that real estate and the build time and the processes that you would have. That's why the Polymax costs a lot more. Now the Polymax has some more functionality, but if you're on a budget and you get a Tote Goat over, say, a Polymax, you're not going to be you're not going to be handicapped at all. You'll be fine. You can put an 8-gallon, you can shut the tailgate on a full size truck. I would run one, but I would prefer a Polymax, but like I wouldn't be upset that I had a Tote Goat, and you can't hurt it. It's a tank. It's an Abrams.
And if they're all built the same, right, you're running crews, it's key that it's built the same because you don't know which trucks. Yeah, I get it in an ideal world that each guy has his numbered truck and he has to keep up with that stuff. But sometimes your truck's going to go down, like the truck itself, and different guys have to shift over. Well, if all your rigs are built different, I'm gonna tell you, bro, employees, they're dumb. All right. They like if you move one thing, you getting calls, bro.
It's like,
Like,
well, I can't even say, look, I'm gonna go on my damn rant again because Freshwater Punk's in here, and I don't like he heard it the other day. But I'm gonna elevate that. The damn owners are dumb.
they're
3 in a row, 3 business days, 3
that
up, 3
trickle
down.
down effect. That trickle
Yeah.
down.
Pull up to my shop, mad, pissed off. These pumps don't spray through. If I'm lying, I'm dying. My hand on the Christmas tree cake. I had 3 son bitches pull up at my shop saying their pumps don't work. Walk outside, empty tank. The next day, another guy, empty tank. So yeah, you try to, what happens is they get flustered. So if you can streamline it and make it easy, especially on the maintenance,
Believe me,
it's going to be real easy to maintain.
we trying. We've learned that we're like, all right, we thought the bottom was here.
You did not hit the bottom.
You did not hit the bottom, sir. He said, nah, he'll be able to figure that out. He, in fact, did not figure it out. No,
I've
bro.
had
Empty tanks.
probably-
I'm going to tell you, you've had that happen. How
No,
many
it's
times-
we
in
used to
your
count it. We counted it, but we stopped counting when it was around 100. But they were usually spread out. You'd get like one every couple months, and they'd come out and tell me, "Yeah, I was on. You remember that guy that picked up 3 weeks ago? You got the thing. You got the skid." I'm like, "Yeah, I remember him. Man, he just called in. He was mad. He was mad as hell. He sent in an email and everything, and we was talking to him on the phone. It was an empty tank, and we'd all lean back and go, ha 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 ha. At least he's back up and running. He paid his stupid tax. I don't care that they have an empty tank. It does not affect my roles at Texas Roadhouse. The problem is they mad and cussing at my reception
That's
and
the thing.
being out of the way
And
about
that's
it. And then
probably
you find out it was an empty tank.
right. And that's probably a lot of the reason that we got the reputation that we did, because we would call out that stuff and we would be daddy in the moment. And we'd be like, that's dumb as shit. And they wouldn't like to hear that.
They would not.
hear that. But that's really what they needed to hear. They needed to hear daddy say, son, hold the fucking light. You retarded? Are you retarded? They needed somebody to say, hold the light. Are you stupid?
Well,
You know?
a few times the first few times I remember that happened, it was like you would point it out and you could see that on their face. They didn't really want to. What I like to do is say, golly, because I've took a John Deere mower to the John Deere place and it was out of diesel and I felt like a freaking idiot. Now my fuel gauge was stuck. My fuel gauge was stuck on half and it's a $20,000 lawnmower. So I thought something done happened to it. Shouldn't have done that, but I'm going to take my licks. But you got to take your licks. See, I needed them to be like, yeah, I can't believe that. But they weren't that way. They were still trying to put some spin on the tank situation.
Let me tell you something, guys. Let me give you a little secret here. If you're watching this late into the chat, probably, if you call up to Southeast Soft Wash, let me give you the secret code. All right.
Here it is.
All right. This is the code. And if you do this, you'll get great service, because we've all done it, but it takes someone admitting it. Okay. And that means we can come together and meet as equals and figure it out. But when you call up there cussing, right, you're going to get met with some cussing. All right. See, it's just no guns me, no guns you. You know what I'm saying? It's a Mexican standoff. Right. But it's if you call up there and you say this, hello, hey, now I might be retarded. If you just say that line, now I could be retarded.
It goes a long way.
I'm gonna tell you, because look, we've all been retarded. But if you just say that and you admit it, then Zach will probably be like, all right, well, you might be retarded, but let's talk about it. What's going on?
We'll try to help you,
Try to help.
I said it in the other video, but we had a kid drove down. He's like 24. He's a good kid, but him and his daddy was in his ear, and they was just mad. And it turned out the dude drove from freaking Pennsylvania to my shop. 14 and a half hours there, 14 and a half hours back. And he pulled up in the parking lot, and he was mad. Like, he big mad. They talking about lawyers and all this stuff. And I recorded it. I'm not going to post it, but I do have the footage because we left on good terms, but it was that close for him getting his ass whipped out there because it was being a little bit silly. We didn't tell him he could come down. He just showed up and told me, "What, y'all going to look at my trailer?" I said, "Look, man, I'll look at it for you, but you ain't going to just tell me what I'm going to do today because I was finna go Burger King." But if you act real nice, if you act real nice, I might go out there and look at it. So he calmed on down a little bit, and we walked outside, and then he kind of flared up again. And my brother's, he's ex-Army Special Forces, and he's just not going to do a lot of that.
See, guys, y'all know. Yeah, hold on. Let me give this. Like, hold your story. I'm gonna tell him about Zach in just a second. Zach. So y'all think Cody?
No,
no.
I'm the level-headed one.
No, Cody is the level-headed one. Zach is ex-Special Forces, and he does not.
No, he does not.
Like, I'm like, damn. Like,
he asked him. We walked up to the trailer, and he may watch this. So if you watch this, you just laugh because you was there. Walked up the trailer, and he said, "Have you primed the pump?" Zach said it just like that. No attitude, no spice, no passive aggressive. He said, Have you primed the pump up? And the boy said, "Yeah, I primed them." And Zach said, "Fuck this guy." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I'm trying to get the footage because I'm pretty sure there's an empty tank and I could use this later for ammunition. So I said, "Listen, man, we're going to have to de-escalate now. And you're going to calm down now."
De-escalate.
Do that because Zach going to fold your ass up, put you in a little box, ship your ass back to Pennsylvania. I'm trying to save the postage on the fucking box that he's going to put your ass in.
I'm trying to get this footage, and I think there's an empty tank around here.
I shit you not. I got up on the trailer, pulled the lid off, looked down in there, drop stick sitting in the air, baby. Probably had about that much in the bottom of that 200-gallon tank. So, and when I showed him that, he still was kind of trying to like push back a little bit, but you could see after like 2 or 3 minutes of me talking through it, we put water, hit the mental, he started letting go of that. And that's when learning can happen. You can't be arrogant when you don't know stuff. It's okay to not know. It's not okay to not know and be right. Arrogant, be mad and point the finger. Because I'm just telling you, it's not going to change my day. It's for your benefit. So we want you guys to win, but we are not gonna. We're just not. I don't know. We probably should if we wanted to make more money, but me nor Aaron can he's too ornery and I'm too jaded, and I just ain't gonna do it. Can't do it. So.
Self-inflicted
dick injuries.
That's right. Yeah, no, I mean, me and Cody, well, you and I do that. Like when we talk to guys who, companies who work for us and do different things for the company, we lead. I lead with it. Now, look, I'll do this. I could be retarded. I've been known to be retarded.
Right. I have been.
But this ain't working. They be like, "Oh yeah, that's just this. Oh, confirmed. I was retarded." Confirmed. Like,
I'm not gonna burn that bridge. That I'm not gonna play that card until I know.
Like, that's right. Yeah, I don't ever come hot unless I got like serious proof.
Yeah,
like serious proof.
Guys, head over to the site. We're gonna cut it off. We're at 59 minutes. Head over to the site. Grab you some gear. Sales will be up all week. Different items be featured every day. It's going to be the biggest sale we've ever done. If you want to get some turnkey equipment, and the biggest thing we didn't even say about the damn equipment, ain't no lead time.
Ain't no lead time, babe.
Come get it, dog.
Now look. FYI, for all you folks, there ain't never going to be no lead time. Ever. Again. Now, what does lead time? See, you thought you hit the bottom. Lead time is when you call into Southeast and you say, hey, man, I'm thinking about buying a rig. Well, in the past and with us and currently with everyone else, you're going to hear this story. Cool. Well, it's a 5-week, 8-week, 12-week wait. That's
Yeah.
what a lead time is. They're going to tell you got to wait. And we understand that because we used to run the company that way because that was kind of the only way we thought we could run the company. But in this past year, 2025, y'all didn't know about this because we was doing it, but we completely flipped the way we build equipment now. We build equipment to where there is no lead time anymore, meaning you call in and you say, hey, I'm thinking about buying a rig. I want to get a tote goat. Cool. Well, we've got one here on the floor. Do you want to come pick it up this Friday? That's what that means. So it gives you back a lot of making money time. If you're thinking about buying one early this week or even early in the beginning of the year, getting ready for spring,
Yep.
you're not going to hit a big queue with us that you got to wait on. We're going to say, hey, dude, come pick it up this Friday. You purchase it, buy it, come get it. And you're making money the next day.
Yeah.
When
Because
you
think
get
about
back.
what a 5-week would be a good lead time.
Bro, that's a month. That's like all of March. Like,
That's a lick.
And March is where you make a big lick. April's making a big lick, right? Big time. So we flipped the whole thing on its head for you guys so we could offer that and, help you guys make more money who are wanting to buy equipment from us.
Even the guys getting into it in late summer, they'll call in and to anybody. And when they figure out that they got to wait 10 more weeks, it's like, well, that's the rest of the season. And we get it. It's hard to get to that point. It's very hard to. So we've built a ton of rigs and kind of flipped it back into in-stock inventory, which is better for us, better for the customer. That was always another big complaint that we had. It was not a valid complaint because we do not lie. We do not say it's going to be 4 weeks, knowing good and well that it's going to be 6 or 7 or 8. And we don't tell you 8. We might say 6 to 8. We're always real vague. We've been that way the whole time because we try to not
under-promise
and try to hit, and we pretty much hit our estimates like 90% of the time. 10% we might go over a couple weeks, but what would happen is you would tell the guy, and we have all of our calls recorded, so we can go back and listen exactly what we told him, read the script and everything, and the guy would get told, hey, you're paying for this today. You're going to get dropped in the queue. You're looking at 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. Okay, yeah. Well, he sent us the money, signed his purchase agreement, we put him in the queue. About 2 to 3 week mark, and I've had this happen thousands of times. About that 2 to 3, something about that 16th business, that 16th calendar day. Somebody did get antsy and calling in. Hey, here's how it started. I'm just checking on my rig, and I ain't nothing to check on, bro. We ain't started it yet. We don't put one bolt in every rig every day. When yours comes up, we'll build it in like 2 days, and you'll be good. But you got to wait to get up to the line, right? Okay. All right, I just check. Then you're gonna wait about 4 or 5 more days, and then you get mad. And it's then at that point hard to, when he finally comes, to be cool, because now we were cool. And you changed the relationship. Like, you started getting silly, and I've got you on paper. So it's not ambiguous. It's not he said, she said. No, I can pull it up and show you. But again,
but it doesn't matter. They don't care that that's what we agreed to. And so what does that do? That hurts the relationship, even if it shouldn't. Right. And every builder deals with that. Every person, every company who builds, they all deal with that. This is just the way the market is. Okay. They like to complain about shit. All right. And so you have to be very clear up front. But even what we've learned is, even if you are very, very clear and they sign an agreement stating that, right, it doesn't matter in the long term if they have other expectations, even after they agreed.
Doesn't matter.
So what do you have to do? I have to work with what the market gives me, and I have to figure out a way to flip this to where I can give what? Instant gratification, right? I have to basically be Amazon for skids. That's what I have to be, but they got to be badass. They can't be shitty. They got to be awesome, but they got to be to where guy calls, he comes in, he can take it home that day, that Friday, right? Like that's a big Friday pickup is our thing.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea behind that, is really working with the market because of the expectation. We thought that, Cody and I work on a paradigm that, like, if I shake your hand and we come to an agreement, that's the agreement. There ain't no more parameters than what was hashed out, right? That's it. That's the deal. There's no take backs. There's no changes in the deal. But a lot of people don't think that way.
Nope.
They don't operate that way, even if they sign something. So
it's real feminine energy. It's real emotional. It's
It
real.
is.
I've had so many of them. I get on the phone, the guys will come out there and tell me, man, can you talk to this guy? They don't do it anymore, but they'd come out and get me to try to kind of come up and de-escalate or be like, the buck stops me. So I go up and I'm like, look, man, what's going on? Man, and he's up here. And I can kind of start bringing him down. And I said, well, look, man, I'm pulling his shit up while I'm talking to him. So you paid for it on this day. And how long did they tell you, you'd be waiting? And he would say something that was not on the recording that I just listened to. And you hold it up from them and to their face. And they would say things like, yeah, well, I know, but it just feels like it's been a long time. And then see, I come the fuck unglued when I hear that, because I can't operate on feels, tingly feelings, emotions, cold chills, movements of the Holy Ghost, none of that shit. It's just is it is or is it ain't. But that's all it
But see, this is the thing, dude. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That's what me and
It
Eric.
doesn't matter if you're right. And that's the
Doesn't matter.
problem, is that we always thought, well, we have an agreement. So therefore, if we talk on the phone and we show you that not only have you agreed to that in a phone call, but you've also agreed to that on the purchase agreement, you agree to that all over the place, he's still pissed.
Right. He's still pissed. So then at that point, you're left with a few options. Option one is just fire rockets at everybody,
Right.
which I do enjoy. But the problem is that does not fix your problem. It just that doesn't change anything. Option two, and this is what everybody else does, is they suck everybody's ass. They get on there and apologize for things they didn't do anything wrong.
Correct.
And
Right.
we're not going to do that. But that is modus operandi for about 99%
Mhm.
of all companies, no matter what it is. I reserve my I'm sorry about that for when we fuck up, because
Right.
we're willing to fuck up. And when we do, I want to be able to say, yeah, dang, we messed that up. We're going to take care of that above and beyond. Like, we're going to become Todd Ketchow's.
Softball.
We're going to go above and beyond and make it square with the dude. You're going to have one or two of them a year, no matter how good you are. But what we've decided to do is just change the chessboard around.
Right.
Okay, so y'all ain't going to quit complaining about lead time, no matter if I told you straight up, beat it by a week, don't matter. So tell you what, no lead time, bitch. What you going to say now? It's like, I just take it back away from you. And you can't, so it sounds, we're trying to be funny. I hope y'all know it's like half of this is a comedy show, but it is a lesson to you. If you're getting the same complaint over and over, it don't matter if Mrs. Jones is batshit crazy. It don't matter. We'll get around and talk about it and laugh over the burn barrel and smoke a cigar. But when that's all over, you still got to go back and address Mrs.
Right.
Jones.
She's still
And there's
pissed off.
1,000 Mrs. That's what the market is. So it's like, okay, well, how do you? Yeah, Amazon has kind of spoiled people's mentality of what they should expect. But it don't matter. That's what it is now. So how can you? And some of that, if you're running a wash truck, that's really, really easy to do. Just change your model. When you're building several $1 million of equipment a year, that is not. It's kind of like turning an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. So
Yeah, I mean, we've learned that, like, trying to mentor guys through, those hard conversations. That's basically what I built my channel on.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I probably saved about
7.
I don't know. I mean, I probably saved a couple hundred, but I've coached thousands. I've coached like 18,000 people. I think that's how many when I looked. and I guarantee I did not save. I didn't even save 1,000.
Yeah.
Meaning like guys whose mind really changed from listening to the information. Like my mind changed when I had these hard conversations with myself, right? Like when I was living in a van with $500 and now I'm sitting where I'm sitting now in a period of like basically no time. I don't know how many years it's been at this point. But it's like, how do you move fast and really change your life? It comes through hard conversations. But guys, we found that people just can't take it. So what's what? I ain't gonna give it to you no more. I might give it on my channel. I might talk some shit on my channel, you know, because I like talking shit. But Southeast ain't gonna do it no more. Why? Because they don't want to grow. They don't want to learn. So if I'm over here having, you know, a hard conversation with a guy and we're like, no, you dumbass, you didn't freaking, dude, you signed the deal. This is the deal. Let's be a man about the deal. They're still pissed. So it doesn't matter. They're not going to come. You can lead them to water. They're not drinking. So you know what? Fuck them. Like, that's how I feel about it. It's like,
I'm out of care.
Like, I'm out of ideas, bro. I don't know how to change some of these dudes. I mean, there's guys in the chat that we know that have been touched by the message, you know, and have definitely changed their life for the better. But it's like almost like, well, maybe we should just be like, just
indifferent. It's just indifferent.
You know what I mean?
I don't care either way. You know, it's like
I used to care a lot.
I did.
Like,
I really did. I took it personal.
These dudes. I was like, you can make a lot of money. You can change your life. Oh, I changed my life. And they're like, I don't want to change my life. You know, it's like, come with me.
Okay, so all right,
all right, fuck you, man. Nah, you know.
It's just hard, dude. Like I got too much going on to be doing any of that. So we're trying to identify some of those big pain points that we have in our business that are, you know, it's not like they're hurting our business really, but they're just annoyances. And if you can make them better, then why wouldn't you? Okay. So this is the way it's better for us for a long shot because we build it. It's sitting there. When it sells, we get paid. So that's different, completely different way of doing it, you know, but, and it never put us in a bind, but that old way of doing things where you take money and you put someone in a queue, if you're not good at managing your business, that could be a problem. That's how Sean Hodges got Sean Hodges. He was made him a verb right there, but yeah, taking money to pay for the next rig that he's got to build, you know, it's just a lot of things can go wrong. Because what happens if you've got, even last year, we limited it to a 25-person queue, you know, and that was a big deal because that's like 1 month of production. So I cut it from whatever y'all can sell, put it in the queue. I put it down to 25. So if we were at 25, they couldn't sell another rig till we caught up a little bit. And that helped a lot. It still didn't fix the other stuff we were talking about. But let's say you got 25 in the queue. You know, and the average build is $18,000 or whatever. Okay, well, we got money in the bank. Ain't no problem. Let's say COVID hits again and you can't, it's not about the money. You can't get the parts. Something like that happens. And that's a meteorite. And now you got lawsuits because you're at 15, 16, 18 weeks, even though it's legit. But now you're in this weird land where, you know, it doesn't matter what happened. They want their thing. They don't care. Some guys are cool and normal, you know, like the rest of us, but you get a lot more guys. Think about it. Who's attracted to get into pressure washing? You do get the random guy that's like, oh, well, he's a normal dude and he had a career and he just changed a pace or he retired and he don't want to get old and sedentary. You get those guys like us, the guys in the chat here. You get Todd Ketchows every once in a while. You get Dewey's, but I'm telling you, the vast majority, when y'all ride around town and you look at that dumbass, you're like, look at that dumbass. That's who we deal with. I know that's how you say it. Say it real quick. You drive by, Todd's in his Tundra and it's all wrapped. It look good anyway. I got dumbass. Anyway,
that guy's dumbass.
We're dealing with. So we can't, it's almost like you can't leave away. COVID was not, it didn't destroy us like it could have did some other companies, but it was a big eye opener. Is like, holy shit, they can do that. Like they didn't shut me down because I just died in a pile of brass, but the world like ground to a halt, and it's like
Yeah.
that I don't ever want to be even having the mental thing that there could be this impending asteroid. It's like, no, I'll just build it out and change things to where it doesn't matter, relatively what asteroid comes in. If it's 3I Atlas or none of them, I don't give a damn. It's better. And think about that for your business, guys. If you keep getting the same pain point over and over, maybe there's just some little sneaky, ultra slick move you could do where you turn the turntables, right? And now you don't have to think about it no more.
Yeah. It can definitely, change your situation. But well, thanks for getting on, guys. We go back to the site, check it out. We're going to be going live pretty much all week. Telling you about what's for sale and what's up, what it is, and what it does, and got some big stuff on sale this week. I think a lot of guys are excited about some of the pumps and stuff like that are coming down.
Hell of some savings. We'll check in with y'all sometime tomorrow whenever we can get freed up and break away from things. Probably tomorrow evening, maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know. But y'all have a good evening, man. We'll see you. Head over to the site, get you some gear. We'll get it shipped out damn as quick as we can now.
Quick as we can. We will. Promise.
All right, guys. Nothing but love. See ya.
All right.